Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I don't really do much on my YouTube channel, but I'm starting to do some more things lately, especially being in isolation. So I wanted to just quickly put up this little video about how I put my podcast on Apple and Spotify, because I feel like so many people have been asking me this and it actually is quite hard to find information on. I had to do some research and then I was like, wow, why don't I just Google it? So I Googled it and that pretty much summed up how I figured it out for myself. But yeah, it is a bit tricky at first to figure out how to upload things, especially with the RSS feed. So I'll show you. First, I use Buzzsprout. That's where I first started putting my podcast, because you need like a feeder website sort of thing. So like a website that you can rely on to store your podcasts so that you can also upload them onto Apple and Spotify. So I use Buzzsprout, and there's so many that you can choose from. Like if you just Google places to store my podcast or podcast creators or something like that, there would be heaps of different ones you can download. And also, this is for free, but the thing is, after like a certain time frame, I think it's like 90 days, you have to start paying, otherwise your podcast will be deleted, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to start paying as soon as the 90 days runs out, which is good. You get like 3 months free, which is pretty good. Okay, so you have to create an account. So yep, I created an account, pretend this is my account I'm creating. And then you create my podcast. Pretty simple. And then you log in, and so this is my Deep Thinkers podcast. And you go upload a new episode, and you go choose a file to upload. So I usually use Adobe Audition to record my podcasts, and I find it really good. And then I export it and I get the exported file, and then I upload it, and it's pretty simple and awesome. Makes me love Buzzsprout so much more. And then you put your title and a description and you upload it. It also sometimes doesn't publish, so you have to say publish now. So yeah, just look out for that. And then after you've done that with your first episode, so that's my third episode there. So with my first episode, which I will go to, this is my first episode. As soon as I put my first episode up, I tried looking for ways to put it on Apple and Spotify, because as soon as you put the first one up, the rest will just automatically go onto Apple and Spotify, which is pretty cool. So there's all these different ways that you can share your podcast. So you can create a link or MP3 link or all sorts of things. And then you can edit it. So you can edit like your description whenever you want, or your title. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Buzzsprout's awesome. So what you do, which I'm trying to find because it is tricky, you press this little square with the arrow pointing up, you press RSS feed, you go allow, it will open like news.com if you're on an Apple computer, by the way, because I'm on Apple. You copy the RSS feed. Then I googled uploading my podcast to Apple, so just type that in there. I found podcasts, iTunes Connect Apple, click that, and then it opens. You can create an account, or I already have an account, so it automatically comes up. Just waiting, loading music. Okay, here we go. And then you put your details in, which I'm not going to show you because it's private. And there is my podcast. So the way you do it, you add the RSS feed, you go validate, that button up there. It might take a few hours or a few days. It took quite a quick amount of time. I was so surprised. Like, it only took a few hours, I think. But some podcasts creators have told me it's taken days up to weeks. So yeah, very interesting. Then Spotify did the same thing. Spotify for podcasters. And then you also have your own account, which I already do. You add or claim a podcast. So your first podcast, you copy and paste the RSS feed in there. Simple as that. You go next, pretty much validates it for you, and you will get emails also confirming all these validations. So yeah, it's so simple and loving it. So if you haven't checked out my podcast, please do so, and I really hope that this video will help you or others in some way. Thank you for listening and watching.